This episode is brought to you by Antennas Direct, makers of the toughest antennas in the universe. Hi, and welcome to the Man Cave Cinema. My name is John Zanetos, and this is episode 29 of the Man Cave Cinema Rant. And today we're going to be talking about why are there not any subchannels in Canada, plain and simple. In the U.S., if you live in the U.S. and you have an antenna and you're receiving your channels over the air, there is a ton of subchannels out there. A lot of stations are carrying a lot of subchannels with different specialty programming or what have you. Same thing out of Buffalo, New York. For us living in the Toronto area or any major Canadian city that lines against the border with the U.S., we catch all those stations. But why not in Canada? That's something that I want to talk about here, okay? And just to let all the Americans know what's going on. Guess who owns all the TV stations, okay? The majority of them. I would say 98% of all the local network stations are owned by the two biggest cable companies in Canada, Bell Canada and Rogers Cable, or Rogers, plain Rogers. They do not want to start producing subchannels because why do that when you want, as the owner of these stations, to get people to sign up to your cable packages? Why add more channels over the air? As a nice gesture or whatever, one or two subchannels would be great to carry some specialty programming. It's still interesting. I find that the CBC, which is owned by the government or owned by the public, there's no subchannels for them. It would be great to see a CBC subchannel with all the classic 70s and 80s TV classics from the CBC, like the Beachcombers. You Americans won't understand, or some of you would. The people who lived when you guys listen, just south of us and catch the Canadian stations. But why can't they do that? Like I don't understand that. It wouldn't cost them that much more. They would end up, sharing the bandwidth a little bit between the HD signal and the SD signal. But I mean, a lot of American stations do that and still hold their bandwidth integrity and what have you. I don't understand it. Why is it okay in the U.S. and not okay in Canada? Even Global, which is an independent station, has a subchannel, but it's only it's a copy of their HD feed and SD. Why don't you show something? Classic TV shows, documentaries, kids' cartoons. There's lots of stuff that you can show, but everything else is owned by Bell Canada and Rogers, and they are not, no way, no how are they going to put subchannels up there. Even if they're mandated by the government to do that, I don't think it will happen. It's just their greedy mentality that these companies have. I mean, it's so bad here in Canada, it's not even funny. They rip us off at any chance they get, but they won't do us an extra favor. Just like in the what's been reported on the internet the last few days is that the cable companies in the U.S. are the worst customer service companies ever. I mean, they are the worst. And it's the same thing happens here. It's the same thing here in Canada. The exact same thing is the same. They're the worst companies to deal with. They're the worst companies to work with. Why are we supporting these guys when it's so bad? Put up an antenna. Pick up an Antennas Direct antenna. Put it up on your roof. Put it up on your in your attic. Or if you're in a downtown urban area, get an indoor antenna. Put that up in your where your TV is. And forget about paying for cable. And get the U.S. stations so you can get the sub channels so you can watch. You know, some of them have comedy movies all day. ABC in Buffalo just came out with Laugh and Escape, two major subchannels that are showing movies and TV shows all day that you don't normally catch, like the Drew Carey show from the 90s. How great is that? Anyway, this is another reason why that we should, that antenna's more of a value for everybody. But I would like to see Canadian TV stations, especially independent ones. All you independent network stations out there, please start putting up some sub channels so we can have more to see. And business wise, wouldn't that make sense? You can sell more commercials on the second channel and double your revenue stream. Does that make sense? I have no idea how the TV industry works, but it just makes sense to me. Anyways, I'm John Zanettos. This is episode 29. Take care.